Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Super duper excited because today is the day for our Dear John letter. Got a good one coming up later today. You kind of tired over there?
Yes,
Oh, you look exhausted.
I am.
That yawn probably didn't help. We do have a good quote for today. The quote is, "There's no such thing as luck. There's only adequate or inadequate preparation to cope with a statistical universe." Wow. That's from Robert Heinlein. So,
Alrighty.
no luck. Just that other stuff he talked about. So, if you're lucky, or whatever else you call it, you'll be around for our Dear John letter that's coming your way here in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, June the 22nd, and I only get to say this once a year. It's Global Smurfs Day.
Oh, I loved the Smurfs.
La, 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 la. Who was your favorite Smurf? Did you have a favorite?
Not really.
You didn't?
I liked them all.
Oh, I have a favorite.
Let me guess, Brainy.
Yeah, either Brainy or Jokey, but probably Brainy.
I kind of liked Gargamel.
Gargamel? He's not a Smurf, he's the bad guy. It's also Stupid Guy Thing Day. Well, for me, that's every day. It's Baby Boomers Recognition Day, and it's HVAC Technicians Day. So if you're a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning technician, today is your day, so celebrate. It's a good time of year to celebrate those people because a lot of folks needing air conditioners fixed. I bet they're busy this time of year. So, HVAC Technicians Day. Get out there and celebrate, maybe by watching the Smurfs. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. In Munich, Germany, a 63-year-old judge identified only as Wolfgang W. That's probably a common name in Germany. Not a lot of Wolfgangs around here. He was romantically interested in a 30-year-old girlfriend. Now, he's 63, she's 30. And it's not his girlfriend. It was the girlfriend of a defendant in a case he was presiding over.
Oh.
So he's 33 years older, and she's dating the defendant in a case that he's presiding over. So this is not good news.
Okay.
The judge took the woman to dinner, and then he sent her a text message professing his love. Then he sent another message saying, I could lock that boyfriend up for a long time,
Whoa.
so you could get some peace. She may be younger, but she's also smarter than the judge. She showed the messages to her boyfriend's attorney. Now both the judge and the defendant may be going to jail together.
Whoa.
So there you go. That's not smart.
No.
Bad judgment for a judge. Again, that's in Munich, Germany, so hopefully we don't have judges like that here. Wolfgang W. Now, if you had the name Wolfgang, would you go by Wolfgang or would you go by Wolf or Wolfie? What do you think people would call you?
I don't think you can really shorten Wolfgang.
Well, like Wolf Blitzer. I think his name is Wolfgang Blitzer. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I'm assuming it is.
It's probably not even his real name.
Well, that's true. In broadcasting, a lot of people use fake names. We do not. Because if I was going to go with a fake name, John Small is not the name I would choose. And Heidi, what would you, if you were, let's pretend we have fake names. What would you go by? What would your fake name be?
I wouldn't use a fake name.
Well, if you had to.
I don't know. I can't think of something right now.
I would be Gilligan. Could you be Ginger?
You would be Gilligan?
I don't know. You just don't hear many Gilligans. So, Anyway, this dude's name is Wolfgang W., and he made a numbskull, knuckle-headed decision and probably ended up landing him in jail. But it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. A man has been cited for public intoxication while riding a horse during a snowstorm. This happened in Cody, Wyoming. Police say a 28-year-old man by the name of Benjamin Daniels of Cody, they received a bunch of motorist calls from people who were concerned there was a man creating a road hazard, riding his horse on a street in poor visibility. Officers noticed that Daniels was intoxicated after they stopped him to explain why the drivers were having difficulty spotting his slow-moving white horse in a snowstorm.
Wow.
Daniels was detained and released the following day. A friend of Daniels picked up the horse. So, do you think the horse had to spend time in jail too? Where would they put the horse?
I don't know.
I wonder what happened there. So the horse and the dude, it's a good thing they didn't get hit by a car because
Why would you want to ride a horse in the middle of a snowstorm?
He was drunk. He wasn't thinking, but the horse would have taken the brunt of the accident if a car would have hit them. So
Well, yeah.
it's a good thing they didn't get hit. And it's really nice that people called and, did some thinking for this man. We've got your moment of duh on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. This makes me smile every day because there's so many nitwits out there that do silly things like this guy. Authorities did not have to go looking too far for the third suspect in a robbery. Buffalo cab driver was robbed. Antonio Jones and two friends robbed a cabbie, but somehow Jones managed to elude the police. The other two got caught. During a city court hearing for the other two, they were already in custody. An assistant DA was questioning the cabbie to firmly establish the identities of the men. And they said, now there was another man in the cab. Can you identify that man? He goes, well, yeah, actually, it's the guy sitting in the back row. He came to court.
Oh, my gosh.
He's back there. He was wearing the same jacket that he wore the night of the robbery. So he went from spectator to suspect number 3 in a matter of seconds. So you'd think if you were going to do that, you'd at least, wear a different
Change
coat.
your clothes.
Maybe even somehow to try to disguise your identity. No, he just showed up to see, hey, I wonder if I'll get lucky enough to get dragged into this court case. And he did. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. UPS is raising their delivery rates during the holiday season. So they're warning people this far in advance, which is nice. But I wonder how much they're going to raise them and if it's only going to be during the holidays or if it's going to be all the time. Because I know they have more expenses during the holidays. They have so many more people sending things. They have to hire a bunch of extra staff. Anyway, cafe in Melbourne, Australia has sparked some outrage for selling teaspoons of Nutella for $5. Now, the thing is, if you don't like it, just don't buy it, right? The cafe is called Spoonful of Sugar. They launched their first pop-up store with sugar-loaded treats. The catch being these desserts each come on a teaspoon. So they scoop it out of something, and there's your spoon.
Okay.
So
That's
anyway,
ridiculous.
$5 for a teaspoon of Nutella. I would not pay that. You can get a whole jar of it for less than that.
Yeah.
And I do like Nutella, but I wouldn't spend $5 for just a spoonful. Dogs in Ireland have finally found their forever home. At least one has. A dog that spent 7 years in an animal shelter in Ireland. Angley is a Jack Russell, a Jack Russell and Beagle mix, easy for me to say, was finally adopted by a family last week. Could be the longest ever a dog has been in a shelter. 7 years this dog was in a shelter.
Oh, poor
Wonder why it took so
thing.
long for somebody to fall in love with this little puppy dog. Somebody kicked in the door of a Florida man's apartment, took a salad from his refrigerator, and that's it. Police have no clues. I'm thinking it was a vegan. I don't know. So I left all the meat. I'm just going to take this salad. Why would you go breaking into somebody's apartment, kicked in the door, and then just take a salad? Unless, of course, you're just trying to make the news. You're like, okay, let's do this.
Wow.
Let's go kick in your neighbor's door and take something ridiculous. See what happens.
Maybe you were both in line at the same deli and he took the last salad.
That could be. It's like an episode of Seinfeld. Stealing the marble rye. You may be surprised to know 30% of hiring managers think this is a big red flag for an interview. If you show up at an interview with bad breath, chances are you won't get hired, at least 30% of the time. So, this is something, a Tic Tac or a breath mint of any kind or some piece of gum or even just a good toothbrushing right before you go. All of those things will help improve your odds of getting that gig. A man who was caught on video carrying a urinal out of a pub in England turned himself in. The man told the police that he had taken the urinal as a souvenir. What are the odds that dude was drunk? Pretty good odds. Why would you steal a urinal? Isn't that a dumb thing to steal?
It is.
I mean, I could see taking a souvenir, but why a urinal? Do restaurant calorie counts work? The theory is that when we see calorie counts on menus, we'll choose healthier and less fat-filled items. The reality is it doesn't work that way. Calorie labels on menus appear to have very little impact on what we choose to eat. Really? Somebody had to do a study to find out if we even care. If you're going to buy, the big bacon double, whatever you call it, chances are you're probably not counting your calories anyway.
You're not thinking about that.
A new study says a 1-hour nap after lunch may improve your mental function. So after lunch, take a nap and just explain to the boss what's going on. The secret to falling asleep quickly and staying asleep at night could be as close as your refrigerator. People who eat a large variety of foods, which is an indicator of an overall healthy diet, have the healthiest sleep patterns. So they're saying if you eat the same kind of thing all the time, chances are it's going to be harder for you to fall asleep. But if you get a wide variety of items in your diet, you're going to have a better chance of being able to fall asleep and stay asleep. And our final story today, Heidi. A new study finds that today's teenagers depend on instant messaging and texting to avoid uncomfortable face-to-face confrontations.
Yeah.
So they're saying 43% of teenagers surveyed said they use texting to say things they just don't have the nerve to say in person. 22% said they use texting to ask people out on dates or accept them. 13% say they break up in a text. Would you do that?
You know what? I'd like to say that I wouldn't, but if I was a kid and this technology was available when I was a kid, I probably would have used it for those kinds of things.
We've been married for a long time. I would hate to find out that you're going to break up with me through a text. It's over. Whoa, what's over? The movie? Did I fall asleep? What's going on? And something else that people do, if they have a topic that's too uncomfortable to talk about face-to-face, I think they also send us a Dear John letter. We've got one of those coming your way. I don't know that it's necessarily such an uncomfortable topic, but we're going to get to that before you know it, right here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Each and every week at this time, we like to reach into the digital mailbag and pull out another Dear John letter.
Dear John.
I never know exactly how to start this break. Is that kind of what I say every week?
Close. It's a little different every week.
A digital mailbag. We don't have one of those. We reach into the Facebook, basically. We'll tell you how to submit a Dear John letter here in a bit. Heidi, this person wants to know your advice, too. So it's kind of a Dear John and Heidi letter.
Okay.
All right? We get Heidi's advice every week. But here we go. Dear John, and I'll just say and Heidi, even though it doesn't say that. I have a weird situation happening in my life. In high school, my friend dated a guy for a few weeks, and then she broke up with him. She's still a good friend 15 years later, and he just moved back home, too, so the guy that she dated.
Okay.
He asked me out, but I've put him off for a few weeks. I legitimately have too much going on right now anyway. My question is, should I talk to my friend about this first? I feel weird dating her ex-boyfriend, but they didn't date long, and it was over a decade ago. My mother says, just go out with him and see if there's anything there more than a friendship before I even worry about my friend. What are your thoughts? Does Heidi agree? She probably understands this more as a female. Thanks. Signed, Inquiring Friend. So, first of all, I'm going to ask for Heidi's opinion on this. What do you
I
think?
wouldn't worry about it at all. In high school, how many people did you date in high school for a couple of weeks and it didn't work out? It's no big deal. And your friend has probably not even thought of this person
Probably
for
not.
over a decade.
Here's the only thing.
But if your friend is still pining away for this man,
Yeah,
if she's still single and if she's still pining away for this guy saying,
Well-
if only I had stayed with him,
Yeah.
everything would be better. That's a different story. But if it was just another guy that she dated in high school.
And here's the thing. It sounds like it says that she broke up with him from the sounds of it. She broke up with him.
Yeah, then I wouldn't even worry about it.
But here's the one thing I would do is I think I would. I would just say, and I wouldn't say it like, hey, is it okay if but I would just say, hey, do you remember so-and-so? Now, you guys dated for a little while, didn't you? Well, he's back in town.
Why even mention it?
But because here's the thing that I was going to say. There may be a reason she broke up with him that could be a good thing for you to know. well, yeah, I found out that he's
It
got
was high school.
But I'm just saying, if why did you break up with him? Well, I caught him torturing the neighbor's dog. Well, that's probably a good thing to know. I mean, if there was a reason that she broke up with him, that could save you a little bit of pain too.
If she is as good a friend with you, if she's such a good friend that you're worried about asking her opinion of whether or not you can date a person, then she probably would have told you the story if he was a crazy nut job. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm just thinking that that's probably what I would do. So Heidi and I don't agree. Imagine that. Shocker of the decade. I think that I would at least bring it up. Again, I wouldn't bring it up asking, hey, is it okay if but I would just say, did you know he was back in town? And it doesn't say in here whether or not the friend is married. Because if the friend is married and got kids and all of that, because you said this is 15 years later, so that kind of happens once in a while. Yeah. Chances are. And again, who knows? Maybe you guys are both single.
That would be different if she dated him all the way through high school.
Yeah.
A couple weeks, though, that's nothing. That's like a date.
Today, that happens in like 1 week. It's like one day.
Yeah.
It's like two weeks worth of stuff in a day nowadays. But anyway, I think that I would bring it up, not necessarily asking permission, but just saying, didn't you guys date for a while? Now, why did you break up? What happened there? Is this going to be weird if I date him? And do it not asking permission, but more letting her know that you guys might go on a date. Heidi, you're saying you wouldn't even ask at all.
No.
Would you even tell her that you went out on a date?
Well, I guess I'm sure it would come up in conversation.
Would you invite
if
her
you're
to the
even
wedding?
Friends anymore. If you're
Yes.
super good friends,
It says
she
we're
would
still
know
good
who
friends.
you're dating.
Well, it says they're still good friends. So if they hit it off, should she invite her to the wedding?
If they're friends, yeah. This is a ridiculous conversation.
Okay.
There's an issue that is not an issue.
Well, there you go.
It was a stupid letter. She should be ashamed of herself.
Would you just stop? And you wonder why we have some people who don't want to send these in. Wow. Her name is Heidi. Don't invite her to answer your letter. Say, dear John, only John. Heidi has no say in this. And we'll make sure we take good care of you. No, if you've got a question for next week or the following week or the week after that, you can submit your Dear John letter, and I'll try to answer it really nicely. And my wife over here, probably not. But if you'd like to submit your Dear John letter, you can submit that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. We keep your identity 100% anonymous, so you don't have to worry about somebody hearing it and going, hey, wait a minute. Susan Smith or Mike Jones or whatever,
right.
That's my neighbor. No, we're never going to say a name, and I just made those names up off the top of my head. So this one was signed Inquiring Friend. We never put a name on there. And if you do put your name, I put a fake name on there anyway, so don't worry about it. We'll make sure that it's always anonymous. And you can learn more at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The abbreviation ORD for airports is which airport?
Chicago.
And which one is it?
Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah. You know why it's called that? What do you think the ORD stands for?
I don't remember.
It actually used to be called Orchard Field. So back when it was Orchard, that's when they got ORD. They changed it to Chicago O'Hare. Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Captain Cook was the first man to set foot on all continents but one, Antarctica. So he was the first one to go to 6 of the 7 continents. That's pretty cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Quito, Ecuador, in South America, is said to have the most pleasant climate in the world. It's called the land of eternal spring. Temperatures rarely drop below 46 degrees and rarely exceed 72 degrees. So they stay almost perfect year-round in Quito, Quito, in Ecuador. And fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The model ape used in the 1933 movie King Kong was 18 inches tall.
Oh.
It's kind of cool. Just a little tiny guy. So they had like a little scale model. I think there's a new King Kong movie coming out now. I'm almost positive. I just read that. A couple of fun facts for you there, brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. We hear stories about people calling 911 to save the day during an emergency, but this 5-year-old wasn't necessarily saving the day, and there wasn't necessarily an emergency, but it's kind of an adorable story. 5-year-old Emily Barg of Lombard, Illinois, she made a phone call. Her emergency, though, was a broken yo-yo. Fire engines rolled up to her house. They found only fire in the house was in the fireplace where it belonged. Emily soon admitted that she called 911 because she was curious to see what would happen. She baked chocolate chip cookies for the firefighters and wrote them a note of apology and delivered both personally a few hours later. She said, "I am very, very sorry," she wrote in the note. "I baked these cookies for you. I hope you like them and you can forgive me." And she never did get her yo-yo fixed, by the way. So, can you imagine? Have you ever accidentally called 911?
I have not, but both of our children have.
Like,
and I've
they
had to
picked
deal
up the
with
phone
it
and dialed the number?
accidentally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like 3 weeks ago, my phone in my pocket called 911. And I got a call back. Because
they call you back.
I called and hung up, and then I have no idea how that even happened. But then I felt my phone vibrate, and I answered the phone. They said, "Yeah, we
Is
just
it
got an emergency call from this
Yeah.
number." I was like, "You got a what?" They said, "We got an emergency call from this number." I was like, "This is my cell phone." I said, "It was in my pocket. I might have bumped it." And they said, "Okay, well, there's no emergency." I said, No, there's not." I said, "I am so sorry." They're like, "No, we get a lot of these." So I was like, "Well, you're not going to come and arrest me, are you?" So I have no idea how I did that. But I also pocket dialed a friend of ours like 4 times in a row one day. So, because he said, he sent me a message, sent me a text. He said, "Are you trying to call me?" And I was like, "No." He said, "I got a few calls from you." And then I looked on my call log. I was like, why am I doing that? So I have no clue. Apparently when I put my phone in my pocket, the gremlins in there just decide to call people. So if you ever get a call from me and I don't answer, it's probably just the gremlins in my pocket.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
Take a listen to this, Heidi. Chicago nutritionist Dr. Jan Kowalski is promoting a high-fat, low-carb diet called a Polish diet. You ever heard of this?
No.
Promises you can lose weight by eating extremely high-fat foods like kielbasa, bacon, veal brains,
Ew.
buttered Polish bread, and eggs cooked in spicy lard, and a cup of heavy cream for a beverage. One patient on the Fit Through Fat diet dropped from a size 14 to a size 4.
Wow.
And she said, "We think fat is bad when it's really good for you. It provides energy and makes you feel better." But another happy dieter says, "It's not short term. This is a lifelong lifestyle change," end quote. I don't know if I could do that. You know,
I don't like any of those things.
I don't either.
think that they mentioned, so I don't think I could do it
Could
at
I pick
all.
my own things that are not good for me? If I could pick my own list of things that are not good for me and still lose weight, I'd go with that. Anyway, coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about the color blue fighting tooth decay. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
The ultimate cure for bad breath could be on the way, Heidi, and it's blue light. That is the word from Nikos Saukis, directs the Forsyth Laboratory of Applied Molecular Photomedicine. Whew, it's a long title.
It is. It's a mouthful.
I see what you did right there. He's developing a dental light pen that people could shine in their mouth to zap bad bacteria that causes bad breath. The light works by blinding the bacteria, suppressing the bad microbes, and allowing healthier bacteria to flourish. He expects his dental light pen to be on the store shelves in a few years. Toothpaste and mouthwash are the best ways to fight bacteria now, but he says, "I'm convinced this blue light will be even better." So you have a blue light special in your mouth, and that's going to help fight tooth decay, they say.
Interesting.
Now, we had something, a little whitener thingy, there was a blue light on that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Some teeth whiteners, and then we were using it for like 3 weeks, and we found out we weren't using it right. We're like,
Yeah.
I wonder why this wasn't working. Oh, you're supposed to put something on your teeth first? We just thought shining a flashlight in there was going to do something.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This is called What Cops Know. According to Connie Fletcher, the author of the book, What Cops Know, you can save your property, even your life, by following this advice, Heidi.
Okay.
If you notice somebody following you when you're walking out, look directly at the person. Because if you look directly at the person,
Then they know you can identify them.
no crook will want to mess with you. The only person that would be somebody that's crazy. So they're saying if you walk out and somebody looks, don't just kind of look over your shoulder. Stop and look directly at them, and they will leave you alone most of the time. Okay. Keep a large pair of
Not
big...
if they're planning on killing you to begin with, because
Yeah, I
you ain't
suppose.
telling anybody anything
There
if
you
that
go.
happens.
So if you're a single lady and you live alone, keep a really large pair of muddy construction boots right outside your front door. Burglars will not mess with you. They'll think there's some hulky construction worker inside, and they'll go, let's go to the next one over here. Maybe even a giant dog bowl that says something like killer, and it's all chewed up, and that's sitting right outside your front door. Then they definitely won't want to mess with you. If you're on vacation, keep a car parked in the driveway, even if it's a neighbor's car, but it'll look like somebody's home. Dress in shabby clothes if you have to carry money through a bad neighborhood. Muggers are on the lookout for rich people, not poor people, and they will also prejudge you. So if they look at you and think he's probably just as broke as me, they're going to leave you alone. When you have to walk somewhere alone at night, take your dog along with you, or volunteer to exercise a neighbor's dog if you don't have one. Muggers are put off by dogs most of the time. And then the last thing on the list, these are all from the book, What Cops Know. Keep your money in a separate place from your wallet. That way, if you're robbed, you can give up your cash without losing your ID and credit cards. So if they give me your wallet, say, I got no money in my wallet. Here's my money right here. Boom, there it is. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
For me, I would say, I got no money. I can give you my wallet. There's nothing in there. Have a library card from the Library of Congress now. Would you like that? It's worthless, but here you go. All right. That is from the book, What Cops Know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. So I'm going to have Heidi pick the story here.
Okay.
So, high school student taking recycling pop tabs to another level, or Oklahoma couple down on their luck found true love in another way. Which one?
Oklahoma couple.
All right, so we'll save that other one for another day. An Oklahoma couple, down on their luck, say they found true love in one another, and now their local church wants to help plan the wedding of their dreams. Patrick and Sabrina are both homeless and live in a tent behind the Wesley Chapel Praise and Worship Center in North Tulsa. Their ceremony will be held at the church where they have spent countless hours volunteering. The church is not only sending them on a romantic getaway, but will use some extra funds to start a savings account for the couple as well. They ultimately want to help the couple get back on their feet. And I've got a link to this entire story on our Facebook page. I think that's really cool.
Instead of sending them on a romantic getaway, couldn't they put that money towards helping
Yeah.
them get back on their feet?
But
I don't think they need a vacation. They need some assistance in getting a home. And
well, they're helping with both. So they're just saying, hey, you know what? You guys deserve something nice. I think it's really cool that they're stepping up and helping. So,
well, yeah, it's very cool, but I mean, be practical about it.
well, there you go. Well, we expect all the answers to be solved at once. I think it's really a cool story. If you'd like to read that, like I said, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. If you would like to chime in on our Dear John letter today, that's also the same place. And we have room for next week's Dear John letter. If you'd like to submit one, you could submit that to us. And then we try to give a good, quick, swift response each and every week. And here's the good news. If you submit a Dear John letter question, even if we don't answer it on the air, we answer all of them through Facebook. So there are some people that are sending me some that are just ridiculous and silly, just trying to see if I'll say certain words on the radio, and no, I won't. But you can have fun, and I'll give you a good response. And then we do post the ones we choose on the radio on our Facebook page, too, so you can actually read. And we love it if you chime in with good advice, too. You can do all of that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Thursday.